one of the differences anyway this time was the start. They got off to pretty much set the tone early. I don't know if the mental state of your team right now had a chance after they were up 16-2 early or not, but let's start at the beginning. Why were they able to get out to such a good start?
It's a good question. It was alarming. I felt like we've started games and come out with great effort and energy, regardless of the outcomes. I think if you kind of look at all our games so far, we've started both halves relatively well. We've executed well, particularly defensively, to start games. This was the first game this season that we just came out very flat and not anywhere near the type of energy you need defensively against a team of this caliber. So it was disappointing. I told the guys out at halftime, that's why we changed the lineup going into the second half. If that's going to be their effort and their output, regardless of the situation, regardless of kind of what you're alluding to, that can't be our compete level. It has to be much higher than that. And it's time, as I said, it's time to give somebody else a shot to do that if that's going to be what they think is acceptable.
Is that where you're at now? The sort of look, I know a long extended preseason and maybe a summer would have allowed this, but are you in tryout mode over the next week and who wants to play is who's going to play kind of mode?
That's where we are tonight. We'll see how the next few days go with conversations with guys about what they're willing to put into this, and that's not in a aggressive or antagonistic tone. I don't think it's a situation where, Jeff or JJ or Will, you have to do this. You're in, you're out. You're not doing what we're asking you to do. Maybe you just can't do it. Maybe this is just too much. And if that's the case, then you need to kind of come forward, and we need the guys that can fight through this thing play for us the rest of the way. But tonight was alarming. It was a very problematic start. It's got me concerned about where we're at, and it's time to figure out who can finish the season and who can't.
Nolan Dorsey came during the second half with a lot of energy. What can you say about his performance tonight?
Yeah, I think going into Boise, we felt like we were ready to kind of start to give him that crack, and he struggled a little bit there, and it was probably too big of a moment for him at that point of where he was developmentally, but he practices really hard. He's in great shape. He's a terrific kid, and again, these guys deserve a shot. And I like all these veterans that we have, but the results are the results. So it's time to give somebody else a shot to see if they can change the result. And that means Nolan, that means Javante, that means Isaiah, that means Byron. And I told the guys we're going to start playing some freshmen if that's what it comes to. And I'm glad that Nolan took advantage of that opportunity because now hopefully he'll get more going forward.
Paul, I know you're going back home tomorrow, but it seems like this team just needs a break just to get away and get back home, see their girlfriends. You think that'll do this team some good?
I don't know. There's no handbook to this. This is a first-time situation for everybody. So, I told them the news today, and I thought that might have an impact, and clearly it didn't. So you're just kind of going day to day. You do the best that you can that particular day to encourage and motivate and get the most out of them. And I'm hopeful to what you said that is the case. But we're learning day by day just what the best approach is and learning about our kids, learning about ourselves, and just trying to see what we can do with this team.
Well, Paul, in those moments in the second half when you guys are still out there coaching, you're giving the young players an opportunity, what are you looking for from them out of them in that moment?
Today was effort. The effort to start the game was not what we wanted. I mean, for a team to come out and score on their first 7 possessions is pretty indicative of where your energy level is at. And to have the game before, they don't score for the first 3 minutes. The Nevada games, they don't, we were really coming out in games, and I thought defending off the bat. And to come out kind of the way we did defensively was bothersome. So that's really step one. Are these guys going to come in and defend and play hard and give great effort? And I thought Nolan did, and I thought Javonte did. And, regardless of maybe what happens on the offensive end, we at least need to have guys come in and compete defensively and just give us all that they possibly have. I can't ask for perfect execution. I can't ask for perfect play at both ends of the court all the time, but I can ask them to give it every single thing they got. We talk a lot about emptying the tank, and I don't think a lot of guys went out today trying to empty their tank.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, Paul,
Coach.
Gata set a school record in blocks tonight. I know that's not your guys' record or anything, but he's had success in 3 years against you. Tonight, though, was he the difference? How did you approach going in the lane? Your guys looked at times at the rim a little intimidated again. Maybe it's the same question as 2 nights ago and nothing's changed, but I will ask again, how did Gata affect tonight's game?
Yeah, I thought he's good. He's a terrific player. Obviously, continue to bother guys around the rim. I thought we were a little bit better than game one. I think it again, not phenomenally better, but I thought it was a little bit better. I really thought the key to this one was their offensive rebounding in the second half. I thought we came out with great effort in the second half. I thought we were doing the things we needed to do to win, but we just couldn't keep them off the backboard. And their offensive rebounding, particularly Bean, obviously, was enormous. We held him off the glass in game one, but he came back in game two with a vengeance, really hurt us on the backboard. And Keita obviously takes up so much space. It allows a guy like that to go in there and freeze him up. Keita's a terrific player. He showed off a great arsenal. I think I've said it either after game one or going into game one. He's lost some weight, it looks like, compared to seasons past. He looks agile. He looks athletic. And he's a first-team all-conference player from what I've seen so far.
You started the season or the Mountain West Conference play against Boise State, and you just finished the Utah State series. Those are pretty tough teams. But next up is UNLV. Do you think that's a team that could possibly help bring back some of that confidence for you guys?
Yeah, right now I don't think this is really about our opponent. This is more about ourselves. We've got to find a way to play hard. We've got to find a way to compete, and we've got to find the guys that are willing to go out and do that and are ready physically and mentally to kind of persevere through the situation that we're in. Because tonight, obviously, we showed that maybe some of us aren't quite ready for that. So we've just got to find the guys that are ready to go compete. It could be UNLV. It could be Boise State. It doesn't really matter right now. It's more about our product, because our product right now is nowhere near where it needs to be to compete in this conference.
Coach, sorry I just hopped in a little bit late, but I'm just curious, what is the mood in the locker room with the players right now, and what did you tell them after this game?
I'm going to keep that between us. It's probably not a great mood, and we've got to find the guys that want to finish this season and play really hard.